All right, as promised, today we are talking about vital balance dreams. What does that mean to you? Well, I don't know, but Vital Balance is a program that we have at the Dharma Vita, and it is based on, or it is healing for the body, for the body systems, the physical body, essentially allowing us to relieve ourselves of physical types of karma. And of course, we can't say that, we can't say medically that we medically heal anybody, but it's this type of energetic healing that was created. Well, I don't know that it was created, but by Katie. But what I do know is that Katie created the Vital Balance healing series, and it showed up in her dreams that she had this amazing capacity to heal people by directing her own energy to certain systems within their bodies. And by recording this, when you listen to it, you're also receiving this beautiful energy from these high vibrational beings that she works with. And I've been doing a lot of the Vital Balance work myself, so I've been listening to the healing meditations and recording my dreams because I want to release physical karma within my body, but also I want to see what my dreams look like when I do that. Because like seeing your body systems show up in a dream can be difficult because our body systems are complicated, and as we know, dreams are often symbolic, not all the time. Sometimes they're very realistic, realistic. What I mean by that is sometimes they are much less symbolic and much more straight to the point. But of course, what I know about dreams is that they are going to show everything that's happening in your body that you need to be aware of. And sometimes it's things you don't really need to be aware of. It's just kind of matter of fact. So, of course, don't freak out when you have a Vital Balance type of dream. And what I mean by that is just when your dream does show you something within your body, like, don't freak out. Don't ever freak out from a dream, because it's like they're always there to help you. So even when I have a dream that shows a challenge that I need to work on, I'm just like, oh, thank you. Okay, got it. I need to work on that. So, what I didn't say, I just started walking, is that I just took Mashka on a walk. I didn't do my podcast like I usually do with her because she just had surgery and she still has stitches in. She's like almost 100% like recovered, but I just wanted to have all my attention on her as we were walking, and it was such an enjoyable walk. We went and saw the pet store where, like, they were the first people to kind of initially see her on the street, and they actually saw me at the moment when I ended my podcast when Mashka first came to me, and I ended it by saying, well, I need to get on a video call with my husband and tell him we have a new dog. And so anyway, they were looking out their window of the pet store, and they saw this whole thing happen, and they thought at the time that she was just my dog, because they were wondering, because she just showed up that day on the streets. Anyway, she's not with me, and I'm going to walk to the store and get her some of her favorite vegetables, which she really loves. This, it's squash. It's some type of squash. It looks like a pumpkin, but it's green, and then it's pumpkin colored inside. It's called moringa, which, not to be confused with, I guess, morongo, which is strawberry. So anyway, the first time I saw that word here, it was some pasta that was filled with moringa, and I thought, why do people eat pasta filled with strawberry? But yeah, it's all the difference, the A and the O at the end of the word. Strawberry, squash. Okay. So about vital balance, there are, Katie has created several different body systems healings. Some of them are more targeted at very specific organs, and others are more about systems. And these healings sort of intertwine with each other because, as you can imagine, our bodies don't work in, on an island. Our heart works with other systems, and our lungs work with other systems, and our pineal gland and liver and kidneys and all this. So she has these meditations that work together to support the next meditation. And what we've been doing is looking at a series of someone's dreams, let's say the last 2 weeks of dreams or last week or so. And then we're looking at them to see what body systems are being identified by your nightly dream doctor. And I'm even developing a tool to input these dreams to give us the output of which vital balance healings should this person be doing based on their dreams. But that's all in development, but it is called Dream Doctor. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. Okay, so the dreams I'm going to talk about today are about when murder and hacking up people with axes and even noticing intruders are good things in your dream. How can that be? I don't want an intruder, and I don't want to see people getting hacked up with an axe. But guess what? If you do vital balance, you are likely to see these things, and seeing these things are a great indication that what you're doing is working. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am walking a different way today. I know I said I'm going to the store, but I'm kind of sidetracking because I want to have lots of time to talk to you about these dreams. So I'll talk about the first one that's on my mind. And this was regarding the lymphatic system healing. So I encourage you, if you don't know much about the lymphatic system, like I know some basics, but I definitely encourage you to look up, like, what's the main function of the lymphatic system? How does it work? I'm sure you all can see this doggy in front of me. Such a pretty dog. Oh my gosh. Can I take it home? Can I take you home? Oh, such a baby. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna pet you. If I had treats, I would give you one, but I don't. Moshka ate all of them. Whoosh. Oh. Oh. Okay, baby. I gotta go. So the first dream is about, or was my dream, and I was listening to the lymphatic system healing. And so let's think about this. I'm going to give you the opportunity, before I tell you all the answers, to just sort of think about or tune into what you think the dream is telling me. So there's this situation that seems to cycle where I'm always around this male who is sort of absent-minded. Sorry, I just had to wait for this concrete truck to pass. It was so loud. So this male is absent-minded. He's, like sometimes kind of just not doing what I think he should be doing. And there's a part in the dream where he's with his buddies and they're fighting in a war, and they're sort of gearing up, hunkering down, and like aiming their guns toward something. And I didn't see what the target was, but they were all just sort of like shooting and doing their thing. And then later in the dream, I kind of came to this conclusion, like, why am I worrying? This male is going to swoop in just at the right time, just when he needs to do it, and he's going to take care of business and, just like figure it all out. And that's the end of the dream, and I paraphrased, but I think you kind of get the idea, right? So I'm working on my lymphatic system. One of the functions of it is, or at least a system that works within it, is the immune system. And so that's part of the lymphatic system, is tied into the immune system. And I believe it carries immune cells or something. Sorry, you're going to have to be the person to find out all this information. But what you see there is, feel free to pause because I'm about to give you the answer. What you see is my immune system activating at the right time. It's not being hypervigilant. It's not shooting everything in sight. It's just kind of like, I'm just hanging out, but I'm ready. And you see it, at the end, fighting a war with its buddies. So no, it's not about, I'm in a past life and I was in a war, which, okay, maybe that's a thing for me. But this particular dream, you got to remember, I'm working on the lymphatic system, so you're going to expect to see lymphatic system stuff show up. It doesn't happen all the time, but you would expect it. So think about that. My buddies, or this guy who represents my immune system, and his buddies are fighting the war for me. And part of what might get activated by me, not really knowing, but might be excessive worry. So when I get into this state of worrying about things, I could get a flare-up. Maybe I'm susceptible to letting a virus take over or whatever. So the dream kind of says, all right, don't worry, we got this. Worry is your enemy and we are fighting for you, so don't worry. I just love that dream. Okay, so let's let the trucks pass. Big truck. Oh, not super big, but loud. Okay, let's talk about the next one. The next dream is from a dreamer that was doing work on the nervous system, I think. Gotta think about it. Is it nervous system? Oi, now I gotta look. Okay, oop. Hopefully, okay, I had to stop and look, but it was not nervous system, it was the metabolic system. So it's the healing called weight metabolism. So in one of the dreams, it shows intruders coming in. Just one, but then it's followed suddenly by several. And the dreamer sees in the dream she does not want these intruders in the house, and she actually says, hey, you're not allowed to be here. You need to get out. And it seems like these intruders sort of didn't listen, and they were kind of thinking, oh, we're just going to squat here. And then the dreamer calls up the police. They call up reinforcements, essentially. Friends who are known to be helpful for the dreamer. And so in terms of vital balance and body healing, do you think that's fairly okay? I mean, obviously there's some intruders, but she's calling in the reinforcements. So the intruders in this case are potential illnesses, viruses, bacteria, allergens, whatever. And the dreamer is recognizing them. Now, if you have, let's say, low function in your body systems for intruders, or for even just like, because this dreamer was working on weight metabolism, it was probably more about what to do with excess energies coming in or something, Okay, I see some people sitting there, so I'm actually going to cross the street. Not that I feel in danger, but I'm just crossing the street. It's actually time to head back anyway, because I'm quite a distance from the store that I wanted to go to. So, you could look at those intruders, maybe not as bacteria, viruses, definitely could be, but because, like I said, the dream is really focused on metabolism, then it's likely that this is some sort of too much input, or just the body needing to deal with, maybe not even too much input, but just the body needing to deal with what is coming in, right? And so the dreamer is recognizing that things need to be dealt with. And another thing that will happen in these vital balance dreams is a recognition of, oh, I need to teach my body how to start responding properly. So there's a big truck coming. So in the dream, with the dreamer calling in the reinforcements, it's sort of akin to that, right? Okay, there's so much traffic all of a sudden. So then a few days later, this same dreamer, also still listening to the weight metabolism healing, has a dream where she is told how her body is working. And I love this part because I've seen it in my dreams too, where there is a fencing off of maybe like some rogue actors, some rogue people in the dream. And they get fenced off and then they get dealt with. So in this dream, she's warned, oh, there's a gang down there, they're pretty violent. And she didn't feel like she needed to be afraid of it, but she became aware of it, right? So I'm just gonna wait for this traffic to pass. Here's a city bus. So then she's walking and she sees a fenced off area. And now it's time to cross. And then she looks over at the fenced off area, hears some kind of noise, and she sees that there's an Asian gang hacking up somebody with an axe. So they're all got axes and they're just hacking up this body, blood and guts everywhere, she says. And she looks and says, oh wow, they really are quite violent. So hey, this dream could go either way, right? You definitely want to tune into these because sometimes an intruder in your dream is, somebody knocking on your door or like trying to just get into your awareness and maybe bother you, or maybe someone's angry at you, like those psychic attacks, things like that. It could be. And it also could be a warning of an illness where your body is fighting against itself. So when I tuned in, it was really not that. It was that the Asian reference in this case was about natural medicine. And this dreamer is big on natural medicine. Gosh, that was a lot of sounds. So that's what that was. It was her natural medicine was helping to prevent these intrusions on her and was actually helpful in assisting her with metabolic processes. So yay! And it also shows that the vital balance healing, the weight metabolism healing, is successfully showing her and bringing more light into this type of medicine for her. I guess what I really want to say is that the vital balance healing is helping the natural defenses be successful. So it's the natural medicine that's definitely working in her favor. And then the vital balance healing is helping with the natural defenses. So what a great healing arc, right? When somebody does the vital balance healings, what we'll do is we will, and this is all new, what we're doing now, because when Katie first put out the Vital Balance series, I didn't have my Dream Doctor beta tool, but now I've been developing it, and now we can use it, at least sort of in a beta experience. But now what we're doing is we're then taking the dreams each week and looking at the healing arc. Like, what does this dream show us from the beginning and the end of the week, say? Sometimes, like, I prefer to do the vital balance not in week increments, but maybe more like 10 days or so, because it just seems like our bodies are, the last thing to hold on. So I remember my acupuncturist telling me that even if I have done so much emotional healing and release, my body is likely still keeping the, holding in some of those emotions. And so anyway, vital balance helps so much with releasing this. I can say for myself too that I'm doing the liver meditations now. Woo, this is loud. And with the liver, some things that have been showing up is stored anger. So it's been really helpful to look at my dreams as I'm doing the liver work and understanding where I need to maybe just address some of this stored or unreleased anger, address it with people I'm in relationships with. And it doesn't mean you go to that person and say, you make me angry, and fight. It's more like, it's like a realization. Like, I'm not talking about this thing, and since I'm not talking about it, I'm upset and I'm holding it in my body. Because, for whatever reason, it feels safer for it to be held in my body than for me to talk about it. So you can get these realizations, what's the subject of what you're holding in, and then you can actually have an open conversation about it, and that's all part of the healing process, right? Because as Melissa will tell you, healing you have to take an active role in your own healing. It is definitely more than listening to meditations and having a practitioner do energy work on you. It's so much more than that. So for any kind of healing that you're doing, also make sure that you are paying attention to how you need to actively do something. Okay, anyway, I think that's all we have for you today. And I'm just standing here trying to cross at this busy place. And so here's a horticultural garden, I guess. Oh, floricultura, and a gas station right next to each other. And where I live, there's a bunch of concrete or some kind of, it looks like a bunch of concrete places that I'm pointing to right now. And then as I turn, and I'm gonna cross now, there's a couple of just high-rise apartments, and so just kind of want to show you what's going on around where I live in Cidade Nova. Again, I'm sure I said that wrong, but I'm trying. Okay, well, with that, over and out. See you all later. Thanks for listening about Vital Balance. Go on our website and find under programs Vital Balance. It is amazing, and you get plenty of FaceTime with me, with Katie, with Nikki, who does energetic healings in between, or during the process, midway through and at the end. And you just get taken care of so much. You get your dreams looked at. It's just an amazing program. I love it so much. Our 10-step people are going through the Vital Balance right now. Lots of things coming up, revealing for release, and just for understanding, and for doing the what's that called? Just for doing the active participation. Obviously, my brain, maybe I need to do brain Vegas next. Okay, see you guys later.